Welcome, Dr. Manon Bolliger. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
That is a French name.
Correct. Swiss name.
Swiss French. Mm-hmm. So what's it mean?
Part of it I don't know, but Manon in different languages means hands. Mano in Spanish.
Mame?
And also in India, they use it to mean like power of the hands or something like that.
Really?
Which is very interesting given
What you chose to do.
Yeah.
That's almost like a foreshadowing.
Yes.
Somebody, or did you feel compelled because of your name?
No. Because
Was it causative or associative? Causative, associative.
My mom actually called me Manon after Manon Lescaut. And also because of the movie that was, done about this little girl that tries to get water to the village, So somebody who cares profoundly about other people.
Uh-huh.
And so it was kind of funny. So I have lived out, I've
always someone who cared profoundly about other people?
I believe so. I think I came in a bit as an old soul, as they say.
Yeah?
So I've been there, seen it before.
Yeah?
Here I am.
Have you always felt like people care deeply about you?
The people that do.
Yeah.
It's obvious, yeah.
So you can actually experience loving and being loved.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good. A lot of people don't.
No, and that's actually one of the biggest hurdles in healing.
Yeah.
Is to muster up enough self-love and to be able to receive that love, right? That's
being worthy of to be healed.
Something like that. There's a lot of programs.
So there's a psychological element that we would say is involved with the healing process. I know that there were studies about surgery that people who are loved have a support group and also have a lot of self-confidence and love of self, whether through divine connection to spirit or Christianity or any religion, have a higher chance of healing fully. And there was actual studies that Harvard committed these studies, and so really, your psychological element about, okay, I'm going to be okay, I am not afraid, I will heal, and I have a full life, and I want to live for other people, is part of the healing process.
Yeah, and it's not to impose that way. It's to recognize that it is within us. So in other words, I think we're all born with that possibility and with the intuitive ability to connect to this, but we're programmed in our society differently.
How are we programmed?
Well, it could be with religion, churches. We're going to find out a lot about churches, but let's not go
I'm saying,
there.
what is the programming?
Well, I think the programming is to keep us small, to make us more powerless, to be dependent on authority all the time, not to be true sovereign human beings.
Well, how else to get people to buy all the drugs that the drug companies are selling and to live in the medical world that requires, for example, in my case, as I think I told you, excuse me, I went to my doctor with about, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm kind of fat. And my doctor told me, I swear with a straight face, he said, Sammy, you have to have bariatric surgery. And I was stunned by this. And the Ontario government in Canada said that they would pay for it.
Great.
Some doctors got together and decided the only solution to obesity is to cut out healthy organs. Now, hey, look, maybe it works for some people, but I literally was stunned that this was the option. Not option. He was saying it was the only thing that could heal me. That was 5 years ago. And from my understanding, all the people that were put on that program and had the surgery, more than half of them have gained back all their weight.
Yeah.
You know about this?
Oh yeah, I know about that. And we have even worse. We have now a solution. If you can't pay your rent or you can't afford your life, we have maids in Canada.
What's that?
Maids, it's medically assisted suicide. And
you mean if I can't pay my rent, I can kill myself?
basically. I mean, I'm exaggerating it tiny.
Really?
No, but really, no, really.
No, actually, in Ontario, if you don't pay your rent, you
Unfortunate.
can stay and live there forever and nobody can kick you out. You know, actually, if you kill yourself, the landlord appreciates it. It's easy to get rid of you.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
But it's basically becoming the first cause of death in Canada. And they're
assisted
trying to now pass it so that children, as in teenagers, do not need their parental consent to get away, you know, because they're a little depressed or they have this or that. It's like it's just a takeover by the state.
I don't need parental consent to kill myself.
Yeah, and I'm, you know,
I don't need to have a
15,
conversation with my mother and father
right?
before I kill myself.
Yeah.
And they said this is somehow a law.
This is what they've
Proposing
been
or-
proposing, and
Please tell me we're not that stupid.
we are that stupid. Yeah.
We're exactly
Yeah,
that stupid.
yeah, we are. Well, I
Wow.
mean, look at, you know, you didn't need parental consent for these COVID shots, right? And they were giving ice creams as a thank you for kids, and kids would be in lineup saying, "Oh, it doesn't hurt," so they'd bring their friends and get an ice cream, as if not hurting was the you know what
goal.
The goal.
But
You know,
but it doesn't
rather than-
hurt. I mean, the
Hey.
gas chamber didn't hurt, from what I understood. So
You know, rather than are there effective studies that showed that it worked, you know, all this what we would normally look at, right? But I think this is it's a huge problem because people don't know anymore what's right and what's wrong, and people are so confused.
so where do we go for answers? We have to trust our government. I mean, what else are we going to do?
I think this is the problem, really, is that I think we're starting to wake up to the fact that there's been a real change in the last 30, 40 years, and it's been a systemic, slow takeover of our institutions. And, you know, I think whenever you read about Marxism or all that, you see that this is not like overnight.
Yeah.
It's a slow, in English, when you usurp power or take away power, or
Yeah.
or you're using power wrongly. But we have non-elected people making decisions.
Well, they're supposed to be educated.
Right, but again, what is educated? And if you follow the money,
Yeah.
and I would say that I have nothing against capitalism or money or, you know, great.
Oh.
But if you're supposed to be a neutral board that's supposed to assess if something is good or not,
Oh, you're
better
talking
be
about
neutral.
that fantasy of objectivity.
That fantasy, yes.
So you're familiar with the history of the medical schools in the United States started by Rockefeller?
When they took over the homeopathic schools that were started by the original doctors.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically the idea was, okay, I'll pay for all the schools, I'll pay for the medical students. And then he got into the pharmaceutical business, and because he was already in the oil business.
Yep.
And now miraculously every doctor that came out was saying, oh, you need drugs, you need medicine, you need this, you need that. It's almost like billions.
I know that.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. But no, I mean, and I think that's a quick overview of the problem, right? And then there's individuals.
Yeah.
You know, I've known many, you know, doctors that are completely ethical, and they're in a system that they're questioning. And
Yeah.
some are not questioning the system. You know, we've been brought up to
Well, it's a
believe in the
confining
church.
system.
Yeah. Well, whichever one it is, it's like if the government wouldn't harm you, would they? The government
course
wouldn't allow spraying of our skies to hide this.
So I'm actually curious about something. You became a naturopath. The last time I spoke to you, we had an informal conversation, and you were absolutely a brilliant student. You had options for anything and anything, like everything and anything you wanted. You could have gone to medical school. Were you accepted in medical school? Yeah. And then you chose the path of naturopathy, and before you answer that question, I'm going to have to ask, homeopathy, allopathy, and naturopathy were three different streams that you could have followed, correct?
Yep.
So define what they are and tell us why you chose naturopathy. And then
Yeah.
I think if you want, you can show how allopathy and homeopathy fit into your naturopathic practice.
Sure. Okay. So I think, like you said, there's allopathy and naturopathy. And the word natural means that we tend to find natural solutions to what's going on with a person.
Yeah.
But it also means that we look at the whole person. So not
Hence
just
the term holistic.
correct.
Yeah.
So in other words, you could have a stomach ache. Well, if you were an allopath, you would tend to, and again, I'm exaggerating,
And the allopath is the MD.
is the MD,
Right.
right? Allo is other. So what they would do is look at your stomach, do whatever diagnostics, and then assume that the cause is the stomach because it's the one that's speaking out.
Right.
What a naturopath would do, they would not ignore the stomach, but they would take a full history of
Yeah.
what's going on. So they would
That makes sense.
include the sleep, they would include the food.
Yeah.
And again, why I chose naturopathy is because in the training, there's a full training in nutrition,
Yeah.
in vitamin therapy, in pharmacology, so all the drugs as well. But you have a larger scope to start with. Also Chinese medicine, which is like over 2,000 years old.
Herbal.
Herbal and also acupuncture.
Acupuncture, acupressure, herbal.
Yeah.
Indian medicine is
That's
Eastern
right,
medicine.
Ayurvedic, yeah.
Ayurvedic, yeah.
So it gives such a large scope to look at people.
Yeah, but those silly ideas have only been around 5,000 years. I mean,
Yeah.
we must have decided they're useless.
Right, and that's where I would say follow the money and see who decides what. Because
Did
if
you know, is it true that doctors in China get paid to keep you healthy rather than paid?
there's a
kill
version
you?
of that, yes.
Sounds like a crazy idea.
Well,
You get paid if your clients are healthy.
well, to keep you healthy, why not? It does make sense, but anyway, I don't know enough about it to go
Yeah.
into depth there. But so that was sort of my choice. Is I want a fuller background,
Yeah.
more, and then I want more tools, because my friends who are medical physicians, allopaths, the biggest complaint they have is, I feel like I'm a pharmacist, a drug pusher.
But he is.
Right, but it isn't how it used to be.
But it's what he is.
But it is what it has become, I would say, more and
Yes.
more and more, right? Because I know my uncle was a thoracic surgeon, and he went to visit his clients at their homes before and after surgery,
Right.
to really understand what's going on, and
Yeah.
to when doing the surgery to have that input. And before he died, I asked him, what is the most important thing in all of the knowledge that you have accumulated? And this man was very well known, and he said, to love your patients.
Wow, that's completely antithetical
Of what's happening.
of you've seen Robin Williams was in a movie
Right.
where he played a doctor, and the school of thought at the time, Patch Adams, was that you don't want that what's known as transference or connection with your patient. You want to be objective. And he actually said, no, you need to connect with your patients. So that makes sense to me, that this is where you would come from, is a place of love and contribution before you cut the guy open.
Right.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Of course.
Instead of thinking about your golf game, you're thinking about, this is
Yeah.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy has a wife and a child. He's got a nice dog. He's got a full life. And I need to be as focused and careful with Sammy's spirit and his body so that I can be a part of his healing. Rather than, okay, got to get this pancreas out. Let's see if we can time it. All right, ready? Set the clock.
Yeah.
And those two exist.
No, and exactly. And I think that's why I make the point that it wasn't always as bad. I think we've come to a point now where it is like doctors don't research things anymore because they're
They Google it.
told, yeah, they're told, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. That's what the board says. That's what we do. They don't take responsibility
Right.
for informed consent,
Understood.
for all these things. And I
Well,
think
you
this
know, they
has
don't
got
want
to
to get
change.
sued, right? So in Ontario, where I live, OHIP will only pay the doctor if he does a specific procedure. And he's only allowed 15 minutes
Yep.
with the patient. So in order for a doctor to make money, he has to pack in as many people as possible. And he's only allowed to talk about one thing per session.
Yep.
Hence the stomach ache. If we're not talking about the history, what else ails me, my back is also sore.
Right.
I've been having this nasty itch in the back of my neck.
Yeah.
If I can't talk about those things.
No.
I can only say I have a tummy ache, and then he writes me a prescription, kicks me out, and goes on to the next.
Yeah. But that's why it's a systemic problem, right? It's
It
not
is.
individual. It's
But
the
at least he's
whole
not
thing.
using leeches, so we have come a little bit. Bloodletting and leeches and stuff like that. That, you know, sure, I know they are still actually. I know that's why you're giggling, is because
I'm giggling
sure,
because I've
they actually do work. Yeah, no, I've heard that some of those things, but the bloodletting, some of these other things,
whatever.
not washing your hand, you know.
Well, that was never actually. It was Hahnemann who brought the concept of hygiene. The very first.
So was
one.
Louis Pasteur.
No, it was actually Hahnemann. I mean, history. When we get to see the final version of history.
Because I
It'll be
remember Louis
rewritten.
Pasteur was actually ostracized amongst the medical doctors because he suggested there was bugs on your hand.
Right. Yeah, and
That's-
he did. I'm not denying that
You must-
he didn't.
And apparently, after they accepted his theories, they started using sterilization
Correct.
techniques, and a lot of women actually didn't die in birth, giving birth, or from infection after, and surgeries as well.
Yeah.
He was also a huge risk taker in the sense that he started a vaccine for rabies.
Right.
Remember the story?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So, actually, when you think about it, that's more of a naturopathic approach.
Well, that, and I was going to say that he was juxtaposed to Béchamp, who believed that it's the terrain
Yeah.
that causes the disease. That's when things will show up.
Right.
That it really is up to us to keep our terrain healthy.
The terrain being,
Our gut, our microbiome, or all of these things.
so you're a
right?
big fan of the probiotic and the prebiotics.
If they're required. Depends on again the health of the person.
Yeah.
That what they eat.
So I should eat more yogurt
Where
and
they
kimchi?
eat. Not if you're sensitive to yogurt. Not if the yogurt is made from overly pasteurized milk, where the cows aren't free range, right? Like everything is related.
Okay,
Like,
well, can we argue that, or can we disagree that honey should come from a local source so that you get the antihistamines and the,
that'd
from
be
the-
great. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll agree on that?
We'll agree on that. No, I think we there's a lot we agree on, actually.
That's true.
So, no, we're just trying to bring the angles and sort of stretching the discussion a little bit.
So what exactly is your area of expertise? You're a naturopath.
So let me go into that. So
Yeah.
just sort of explain what the difference and why I chose naturopathy. But my passion was homeopathy. Now you'll say, where does that fit in? Okay, so both medical allopathic doctors and naturopaths currently study homeopathy. So it's not like it belongs to one or that. You need to have a medical knowledge
Sure.
so that you can follow pathology. What's unique in homeopathy, it's that like cures like. It's Paracelsus noticed this, he was a philosopher,
Okay.
that if you bring, so let's say you have a bunch of symptoms.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock, you have a headache, you develop a high fever, and you're starting to hallucinate, and you have red cheeks. You would be different. You'd require a different remedy than a person who is trembling, restless, has a lot of fear, and excessively thirsty. two different states, both common remedies for the flu, different remedies. I would need to give you
So both symptoms of the flu, but different
manifestations from the body.
and both require different treatments.
Correct. Different remedies. So how it's decided is you match. So when people say, oh, homeopathy is not scientific, it's extremely scientific. Every single remedy has been tested by humans and all symptoms written by taking it daily.
Right.
Okay?
Over what period of time?
It was,
Because the flu only lasts 3 days to 2 weeks, so if you do nothing.
Oh, right. No, I meant the testing of it was over basically his whole career, right? He was training about 250 doctors at the time.
And this was in the 1800s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in Germany?
In Germany, correct. Yeah.
Wild guesses here. See how...
very good.
Pretty good, eh?
Samuel Hahnemann. Anyway, and all this was written and recorded.
Yeah.
And then it was put into, that was the pharmacopoeia, right? And then it was put into a repertory so that people like us could look up and go, red cheeks. Oh, red cheeks. Click for that remedy. Now, there's like 5,000 remedies. But slowly we get down to which one is your match. Now, for common things like flu...
Am I paying you by the hour?
That's another good question. But let's say for the flu, there may be 60 remedies. Most homeopaths will know them inside out.
Yeah.
A few symptoms, and there you go. In India, they use homeopathy for all kinds of diarrhea, dysenteries, blah, blah, blah. It's like 2-3 questions, you get your remedy. Because they're
Are they always right? Usually,
most of the time, because they're deadly diseases, some of these, right?
Did they work on stuff like cholera?
Yep. And,
all right,
and
so
malaria. And,
hold that thought for a moment. All right. Okay, so I do this, and that tells me this is where I'm editing from. So are you ready to continue?
Yep.
And you want me to ask you what?
So hang on, let me just think. We were talking about, because you'll have to, it was kind of unfinished, right?
Yeah.
It was,
so where were we?
I know, just give me a second. That was like a minute ago, for God's sakes.
It was actually a minute and a half.
You wanted to ask me something about cholera, I think, or diphtheria.
Well, and we were talking about the fact that, all right, I'm starting now, okay?
Yeah.
So we were talking about homeopathy, naturopathy, how they connect. And I believe I wanted to understand, how does this natural process affect viruses and bacteria? I mean, smallpox almost wiped out humanity. Cholera and dysentery are severe issues all over the world. Malaria. Naturopaths have been around for thousands of years. How come they never solved it?
So, not naturopaths have been around for the herbs and use of these things.
Right.
I think where we see the possibility for change, and this is a biased point of view, but is with homeopathy.
Okay.
And there was that experiment done with cowpox, and again, giving like for like, which is the idea.
But that's how vaccines were developed.
Correct.
So Louis Pasteur, as I was mentioning before, he came up with the idea that if a person had rabies, that they could be immunized or treated.
Right. By having a little bit attenuated
virus.
Yeah, and so in principle,
which is the basis of homeopathy.
Correct.
Yeah.
It is. The difference, though, is, let's say you have diarrhea. Your diarrhea.
Not today, thankfully.
Your diarrhea, sorry for picking one, but will be very different. So they did these studies.
How's my diarrhea different than your diarrhea?
Very different.
Really?
Yeah, because you have different microorganisms.
My gut biome.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so when they were doing these, shooting homeopathy down, they went, oh, here's one remedy that works for diarrhea, we're going to give it to everybody in the hospital.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work. You have to give the right diarrhea remedy for everyone.
Well, number one, you're dehydrated, which is sort of
And that's
bizarre.
the biggest cause of death anyways,
Yes.
is dehydration, right?
Yeah.
So you have to take care of the patient. But you can't say they're the same thing exactly.
No, you can't.
Principle is there, but that's it.
Well, it's funny you mention this because I actually have recently been learning to understand what my body is telling me by observing my bowel movements. And what I have noticed over the years, I don't know if this is a common thing for most people, but after you have a poop, you look down and see what it looks like. I think it's sort of a natural thing to do. But most of us have no clue how to interpret what it means. But the body is literally screaming at you saying, here is what's going on with you. So I actually, a month ago, figured something out. I photograph it now, and I asked ChatGPT. I am not kidding, Manon, and I swear to God, it has taught me so much.
Well,
Depending on what I ate that day, ChatGPT, there's a Bristol scale, and you know what I'm referring to? And so, like by photographing it, it compares it to the Bristol scale and says, okay, you're dehydrated or you need more fiber. One of the things I learned about myself, and I was able to then double prove by downloading my genetic raw material from the DNA test that I did, I have an inability to absorb or process fats. So throughout my life, I would have the diarrhea all the time because fat would just run through my system. The bile comes in, and of course, then everything looks yellow, and I'm getting I think it called it a malabsorption of bile. And I just thought this was just a normal way to live. No. And Metamucil didn't help.
No.
And, the other thing I was doing wrong, you see diarrhea, so, you take Imodium. Wrong.
But you see, that's the idea with allopathy. It's other. Everything is anti. You take an anti-inflammatory. Rather than going, why is it inflaming?
Right.
And you take an anti-anxiety rather than why is it your body is or you are anxious.
Sure.
Right, and so this is that's why I didn't have much interest in that approach to health because it's really not a health approach.
Okay, but does homeopathy actually have anything to do with mental illness?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now we're going to open up a whole thing. Is this an area that you're knowledgeable in?
Yeah, absolutely. Because a person's a whole person.
Well, yeah, but the mind is different than the person.
No, their thoughts are different.
That's right. And the
Their
mind is what's
emotions.
causing the depression.
Sometimes it's the belief
Yeah.
systems, right?
Yeah.
So what we go through, I mean, a lot of the Harvard University students in medicine came to follow how homeopaths do a case history.
Yeah.
Because our case history is like 2 hours plus long. We go into great depth asking everything. So you're right. Sometimes it's a wrong way of thinking.
Yeah.
Now that's easy. You can switch it.
Oh my God! Trying to teach somebody how to.
But it's doable once you understand that.
It is doable, but I mean, trying to teach people. I've been trying for years to teach people
but an
that
emotion,
it's all about choices.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Happiness is a choice.
Sure, of course it is, but an emotion is a little different. See, like people treat, like you can have. Let's say you have menopause, or you have.
Let's say I don't.
Yeah, let's hope you don't.
Let's say you have menopause.
Otherwise, which I don't.
Let's say you went through menopause.
No, I mean I did, but like flying, right?
Okay. Let's say you know somebody who's a woman.
Yes, who has issues.
Is going through menopause.
Absolutely.
Now, what are her symptoms?
Again, they'll be varied, right? Just like we talk about the flu, there'll be a bunch of different ways.
But give me a worst case scenario. Horrible menopause experience.
I think to the point that I want to raise here is not so much to draw the picture of it. It's more that the emotional state
Yeah.
that this woman might be in.
Okay.
Let's say high anxiety, bitchy, fatigue at a certain time, really strongly.
Raging.
Yeah. All of those
Yeah.
symptoms are more like one remedy
Yeah.
than another remedy.
Okay.
So when you match the totality of
Yeah.
symptoms, including the physical ones,
Right.
to this mental emotional state, then all of it changes.
And you've
can't-
got a pill for that.
The match, absolutely.
So, my understanding that homeopathy is 100% plant-based remedy.
It's minerals as well,
Minerals.
and also it has, like spiders and snakes and all
We use
that.
spiders and snakes,
Oh yeah,
no matter what it takes.
it's part of the pharmacopoeia, right?
Yeah, no.
I can't give you the history of how they got all this, but
Well, witchcraft. No, I mean, there was what you're describing right now. The thought that came to mind: animals, deer, for example, they have an upset stomach, they'll go eat grass. Dogs will do the same. Goats will climb the side of mountains just to lick salt.
right, yeah,
They don't know why.
yeah,
They just know that they need to go and get that mineral.
right, and that's more botanics, right? That's
No.
Well, in the sense that around the environment in which you live, there is a cure available to you.
But this is where we're going. I
Yeah.
just described the plants and the minerals
Yeah.
that the body requires.
Yeah.
And so the body actually knows what it needs.
Yes,
This-
I believe that.
You're describing homeopathy as to an individual studying and learning what the body needs by diagnosing, if I can use that term, the symptoms. The symptoms tell the person who knows how to interpret the symptoms what the body is requiring and needing.
Correct.
And the answer comes from the earth.
Correct.
See, the interesting thing is that just sounds too logical.
Yeah, I know.
To
that's
imagine that we are on a planet that is, zipping around the universe, that it's perfect in itself, that 2 million species managed to exist for, 500 million years without any drugs.
Yeah.
And yet human beings have decided, no, we can do better than nature. So, and you're the quack.
Right. Apparently, yeah.
So homeopathy, really, from what I'm understanding, you tell me if I've got it straight
Yeah, no,
or if I'm out.
You actually got it very straight there.
So the human body is an animal, one of 2 million species. It has a symptom. If I understand that my symptom requires that now we're not talking about cravings, and one could extend it to cravings.
Okay, yeah.
Addictions can be extended as well. I smoke, and my body says I need nicotine. Now, I know my brain has nicotine receptors, so I am actually designed to receive nicotine, which is the reason that I started to use it. Well, not the reason I started to use it, but the reason why my body accepted it. Then, at some point, it required it. Sugar is an addiction. The brain 100% requires 15 to 20% of all the sugar that we take in is utilized by the brain. So we need sugar. But my big ass is a reflection that I don't need that much sugar. Right?
Well, it may be more complicated.
Well, this is where I literally am trying to dumb all this down because I'm sitting here talking to somebody who knows way more than I do. But my guests or my audience, they have no clue. So by me dumbing it down, I'm hoping they can follow along, and you correct me wherever I'm out.
Sure. No, so far so good. Yeah.
So the dog, he eats something that doesn't fit or he doesn't feel right. He instinctively goes to the yard and chews on grass. The deer does the same. So even what we refer to as the dumb animal knows that the earth will provide the medicine, if we want to use that
And there's
term,
two,
required.
so that they vomit, right? That's why they do it. Yeah.
We have emetics, I believe is the term, right? We call them emetics.
Oh, yeah. When you want to vomit. Yes.
So I have
yeah.
to go to the doctor.
Right.
I have to buy something, and then whereas bulimics, they just stick their fingers down the throat, and the dog eats grass, or the simple solution is seawater.
No,
Okay, so
I don't think so.
my body needs to get rid of something. It has a natural process for doing that. It's called vomiting.
Yeah, but again, that's it's not your daily life that you need to vomit out. What we have to look at.
Oh no, we're just using an example.
No, exactly. But in the example, trying to find a parallel to that, it's like, sure, you can get rid of certain toxins by flushing them out, by diarrhea,
What
by
toxins?
saunas, by whatever.
Are you
right?
talking about Master Cleanse now? I take a little bit of lemon juice and some cayenne, and I'm going to cure myself.
There's lots of different ways people do this. They do saunas.
Yeah,
they
but
do
I've
hot
heard
and cold,
I heard all
they-
these detoxifications a bunch of bullshit. Isn't it true?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But eating a really good diet is the best way to detox.
And where the hell do you get a good diet? In the grocery stores that you live by.
Well, and this is the problem. If you avoid all the inside part, that's a good start. Then you have nothing.
Oh yeah, all the
processed.
processed crap.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the rule
Then
that you
go-
buy around
yeah.
the side.
Then you
Okay.
go to the outside.
Vegetables, fruits, meat.
Right. Then you need to know if they're sprayed and
But
how
they are
much of-
sprayed.
Most of them, but where I live, there's still some where it's local farmers.
Okay,
that
so
do
the
it.
local farmers still have to fertilize their crop.
Right, but there's
and-
many methods of that.
Right, and
You
they
don't
also have to keep the bugs off.
Yep, but you don't have to use glycophosphates. You don't
Right.
have to use those toxic ones.
Now, are these
many other
greenhouses?
There are some that have greenhouses, some that
You understand
have
why I ask?
Well, for the subject that I can't talk about.
Well, no, if my farm is organic,
Yeah.
I can't control what's in the air.
Correct. I know, and that's a big problem with Monsanto, right? In which we saw that.
Oh, yeah.
We shouldn't talk about that either.
You're talking about the seeds, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean,
No,
so-
we're not talking about that.
Okay.
So now I can do everything I possibly can to buy greenhouse grown organic produce. But the seeds that created it, everything is genetically modified. I haven't seen or tasted a peach today that tastes the same as the peach I ate 30 years ago when I was a kid pulling it off the tree in Kelowna.
Yeah.
I used to pick peaches in Kelowna.
Yeah, there are
I used to
people
pick
preserving
apples
this,
in
yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah.
And they had a completely different taste.
A taste.
Watermelon doesn't even taste the same.
No.
What's going on with our food?
So I think you've already mentioned some of the processes. Also, our earth is quite depleted.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why some of the old farming methods, where they're, having animals
fallow.
on parts,
Yeah.
and they're moving, crops and all that, actually put nutrients back in the soil.
Yeah, you got to poop on the soil.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing that, you're not going to have good soils.
Good.
And then, with winds and everything else, lots of things come onto.
Well,
To the
we know, like you say, the land
grounds.
has lost a lot of its fertilized, like the
Yeah.
nutrient dark, rich,
Correct,
black.
and it's gained a lot.
So we
of
put chemicals in. But the chemicals that we put in are only good for the year because they don't retain into the soil. So we need more earthworms.
Right. So if you're going to do things right, that's the old way. I think that's the
and
only
then
thing
leave
we
the
can
land
do.
fallow for 1 to 7 years, depending on how you want to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, we got 7 billion people to feed.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, that's really the answer, right? As far as nutrition, and I think that there's been studies. It's not my expertise, but that we could eat properly. And I don't know exactly if we are 7 billion people.
We are.
We are.
Or
okay.
more, maybe 8
I
billion
don't know.
now.
There's also questions on the numbers.
Really? What do you mean
Yeah.
you questions on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
numbers?
yeah. Apparently, yeah.
Well, it's pretty hard to count 8 billion, especially in
And-
certain countries.
Yeah, so I don't know, but
What is your
I think
guess?
I have no idea, honestly.
Do
So
you think we're more?
no, less. I think we're less.
Like a lot less?
Some people say, but I've never, again, not at all. I don't even know how to do graphs.
Now,
So,
why is this important to you?
well, because if the argument is we're too many people to actually have proper farming methods, I would say let's try it and see if we can get away with that.
So you're calling bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. So China has a massive amount of land. Russia has a massive amount of land.
Tons.
Canada has a massive
Tons.
amount of land. The United States has a massive amount of land. How are we not feeding people?
Again, if things are to be edited out of videos, I mean, this is the thing. There are choices made that I don't think we are participating in responsibly.
Okay. Instead of talking in circles, how about you just say what you think we need to do? What are we doing wrong and what do we need to do?
I think that people need to, one, educate themselves that our nutrition is absolutely essential to our health.
All right, so I got this food pyramid when I'm growing up. It said I'm supposed to eat this, this, and this. Cereal is the most important thing. Now they're telling me reverse the whole bloody thing. So tell me, what is the nutrition I need as a human being?
Well, I think the reverse pyramid is a lot closer. The other one was really, there were many lobbyists that got paid, and that's why it was the other way around.
Okay, again, stay to your lane. Tell me what you believe I need to eat. So I've got people watching right now, and they have the opportunity to listen to one of the greatest experts on nutrition, on healing. You've got 30, 40 years of experience. You've healed people. You've been participating in disease, and you understand nutrition. You know what the body needs. So tell me, what do we need?
So let's go back to what you said.
What?
I look at my poop.
Yeah.
And that's one way that you see whether you're reacting against a thing you're eating. So you can start with whole foods of all types and see what works for you, what gives you energy, what doesn't give you rashes, doesn't give you diarrhea, doesn't make you feel sleepy, that actually feels like I've got full of energy, thank you for this food. If you feel that way, there's probably nothing wrong with what you're eating. But you have to be able to really connect to what you're eating and check in. And I don't think we're brought up to pay enough attention to.
So you're telling me I should go to the grocery store, buy some vegetables, then go home, try one vegetable, see how I feel.
Yeah.
Then try a different one, see how I feel. But I have to isolate each thing because it could be the rice, it could be the chicken, it could be the tuna that I put in with it.
Exactly. So I think it's more vegetables take a bunch. If you're good with vegetables.
And we want to know that we're good with vegetables. Meat. Some people say stay away from meat. Are you a vegetarian?
Meat, no.
I like meat.
Yeah, my body really likes it. So
I buy from local farms.
That's exactly.
And so I know that the meat that I'm buying is generally well-raised animals.
Correct.
Okay, so now I'm eating good meat, and I know that they were treated well.
Yep.
I get my vegetables, well, I can't say locally, but they're greenhouse mostly. I happen to live in an area that has a lot of greenhouses. Again,
you get eggs.
I love eggs. I eat 2 to 4 eggs a day.
Yep.
I've been told my whole life, oh, too bad, it's cholesterol is going to kill you. Then somebody else says, oh no, you need cholesterol. It's very important.
Absolutely.
Then I'm told, careful, you got to have more fat in your diet. And then I find out that it makes me with diarrhea. And then I try the Atkins diet.
Because you're not absorbing it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then I try the carnivore diet and the Atkins diet, get rid of all the carbs. And then I find out my body responds with kidney stones.
Yeah.
So it gets really confusing, dear. And so I come to you and I say, okay, look, I have trouble sleeping. I have a backache constantly. I feel like I need to lose another 50 pounds. I am struggling with that. I have a rash on my chest. So now I've come to you and I've said these things. You would respond with?
with this. What I would tell you that my job is,
Yes.
okay, is to look at your overall health.
Yeah.
And if it was my practice,
Yeah.
I would do two things. I would take your homeopathic case, because then I would make sure that your system, your immune system, your circulatory system, all of your systems are functioning optimally.
Okay.
And that mentally and emotionally you're stable and you're good.
That'd be awesome.
Then I would do something called Bowen Therapy. It's spelled Bowen.
Like Bowen Island.
Like Bowen Island, yes.
Ah, okay.
And I lived on Bowen Island, right?
I used to live next to Bowen Island.
Okay.
Were you in the 90s in Bowen Island?
Late.
Then you were listening to me on the air because I used to be
that's
on
right.
Squamish Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was a radio announcer back in the 90s in British Columbia, and one of the stations I worked at actually broadcast to this lady's island, and that's an absolutely bizarre coincidence because here we are meeting, 25, 30 years later?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Bowen Therapy.
Bowen, because what people underestimate is the impact of a healthy fascia.
What's a fascia?
So fascia is the connective tissue that basically connects us head to toe. It surrounds all our muscles, our bones, our organs, and it's where the interstitial fluid flows. It's what allows our lymphatic system, which doesn't have a pump, but to be pumped out of the body.
Through movement.
Yeah. And the movement of that therapy, which is very minimalistic, but it allows the body to, what I call, reboot, to reset itself completely, so that you're going to eliminate, so you might sweat, you might, have all kinds of bowels and stools, you might urinate more.
Is this like some pills that you're giving me?
No, it's a physical therapy. It's a touch therapy.
Like an acupressure?
Yeah, but it's very gentle. It's like as if the body had different parts in an orchestrated way that resets it.
And this is an area that you're focused on now?
That's
you
the
just
two things.
Recently?
No, that for 35 years. I mean,
35 years?
Yeah, it's been one of my passions because...
And it works?
Of course it works. So it'll do frozen shoulder, sciatica, migraines, anything kind of structural that's not right. But also it'll reboot your hormonal system. It'll just make sure that you are optimally functioning.
When you say hormonal system, there's so many men that have low testosterone as they age. They need erectile dysfunction medicine, which is one of the biggest selling drugs in the world now. Does Bowen Therapy replace the... No?
No, it does not replace.
Does it help to get the testosterone rise again?
It will help, but here's the thing. You also have to stop using plastic and increasing your estrogens, right? We have to look at the environment that we have created.
All right, so Bowen Therapy is in conjunction with homeopathy.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
I use both for different reasons.
So somebody who's insulin resistant or diabetic or has metabolic syndrome, can they be helped with Bowen Therapy?
Absolutely. And homeopathy.
And homeopathy.
And I would probably do 2 different appointments.
Yeah.
And do the whole picture, and then maybe do 3 or 4 sessions physically. And basically that's it. Follow up, make sure the remedy's right.
And there's no drugs?
That's it. No.
So let me get this straight. A person can spend time with you doing Bowen Therapy, and it can help them with their diabetes, with their insulin resistance, which helps them lose weight. Or they can go to the general practitioner and have their stomach cut in half and part of their intestines removed.
Yes.
And our medical system in Canada says we'll pay for the bariatric surgery, but you're a quack.
Well,
What the hell kind of lunacy? It feels like I've walked into Alice in Wonderland and the Mad Hatter's about to walk through the door.
Yeah.
This makes sense?
but it doesn't. But I don't think that we're seen quite that way, because in BC, the majority of apparently, according to a survey,
Yeah.
see naturopathic doctors as their primary physicians.
Now, is it covered by the medical? Is anywhere in Canada covering it?
No, I mean, you could get like $17 an hour or something like that.
What do you charge an hour?
It depends on
What does a naturopath charge an hour?
Between 160 used to be, like, I'm no longer in practice.
Understood.
For
Just what's
years.
if you wanted to go see a naturopath, what would they charge?
180 maybe. I'll go
180.
an hour.
And how many? Let's say it's a new time, first time visiting one. They want to get to know you and do the bad history and everything before they start prescribing homeopathy or whatever treatment. They must need to see you at least 5 to 10 hours before they can start making decisions, right? So that's like $1,500-$1,600. No, it's not. You see, naturopathy is a bit like your general practitioner. Okay, and naturopaths don't necessarily do homeopathy. They don't necessarily do Bowen therapy. Yeah.
They may just be focused on your nutrition, for example.
So I'm going to spend $160 an hour for someone to tell me to eat more vegetables?
It may not be the way they do things, but essentially you can look up a lot of those things yourself. I mean,
So my question is, why would I go there?
I would go to a homeopath.
Okay.
Or
so
a
the
Bowen
homeopath
therapist.
And a witch?
Or a Bowen therapist.
So where would I find a Bowen therapist? I've never even heard of one.
Okay, look up bowencollege.com.
Okay. Bowencollege.com. Is that a Canadian?
It is a Canadian college, yep.
Sounds like you're about to tell me something that's going to surprise the hell of me, isn't it? How do you know about Bowen College?
I founded it.
Ah.
Yeah, and I've already trained about...
That was a clever segue on your part.
2,500 students.
Really?
Yeah.
2,500?
Yeah. And it's also now, I have a sister college in the UK.
Yeah.
And my next move is to make this accessible to everybody. To have those people who really know.
What's stopping
you? The next thing. I mean, there's, I'm here now.
No. But what's stopping you from
getting,
turning out 25,000 practitioners?
No, that's not stopping me. I've already done that.
No, you've done 2,500.
2,500, yeah. It's to get more.
Yeah.
It's to spread it, right? To get the word out.
Okay.
How
long have you been at this?
For a while now. So at least 18 years.
So your marketing sucks.
Correct.
Right. I have somebody I want to introduce you to. Honestly, it sounds like you've got you just treated Davin today.
No, is that public knowledge?
No, this is important because Davin is a very intelligent, well-connected man, and he's not a fool. If he believes that the type of treatment that you do is valuable, then that says a lot to me. That's credibility right there.
Yeah, I mean, one will have to see. I mean, many years ago, I helped his back.
Yeah.
And I think he was.
So he's a return client.
And now we'll see whether I can help his current neck pain.
Good.
So we'll see.
Well, the fact that he is coming back says that you obviously were able to help him in the first place.
He did say that it's one of the therapies that actually had an impact on him.
Oh, no, that's huge. Like, honestly, I've been to chiropractors, and the fact is that the majority of them have done nothing for me.
Yeah.
It's actually,
yeah.
And they can be actually dangerous to you too.
I think it's because of the understanding we have now of fascia. Like, I did my TEDx talk on the fascia and how we're all put together.
You're going to get us the link for that, right?
Oh, it got banned.
But there still must be available to see it somewhere.
I'm not allowed to show it. No, it was filmed.
You're not allowed to, but if I happen to find it online...
Maybe. I haven't done
Will
that.
the TEDx police come and get you, or is it the Ontario Provincial Police? Or
I have no idea.
Who's the authority over the TEDx talks?
I'm not sure, but I was told that when it's taken down that I can have a picture of myself, which I have in Las Vegas.
Well, who took it down?
talk.
TEDx?
Yeah.
This isn't common? they invite people all the time and they do TEDx's all over the world. Why would they ban this one?
I think it was the year, it was 2021. I'd also, in that talk,
talked about COVID.
I did not. I talked about the immune system.
Right. So, is it possible that what you said about the immune system was anti-government? Anti-vaccine?
It is possible that I said that we all have an immune system.
Yeah.
And that we should be looking at how to maximize it the best that we can.
You sound crazy.
I know.
Sound like a lunatic.
Yes.
Why would anybody listen to you? So, but they knew you were going to say this. Don't they have to approve
They
these
have to approve, yeah.
So they knew you were going to say it.
So I guess some people thought it was fine, and other people no,
but how are they responsible for what you say? You know what? It's too bad you didn't write a book about this.
I did.
What? You did?
I decided it was called something else. But I decided to call it the title of my TED Talk, which
Fuck
was
TED.
no. You know, I don't think there's reasons for things happening, but
Yeah.
it's what if your body is smarter than you think? And that's actually what the talk
What a
is about.
prophetic question. What if your body is smarter than you think?
Yeah, because we're limited in our thoughts.
Okay, so but you see the irony is your body and your thoughts come from your body, and your brain is limited and it's part of your body, and so therefore your brain can only function as well as it can function.
In your body.
And
Yeah.
you're asking if it's smarter than it thinks.
I know, but I'm allowed to have a weird title. You know what?
You can.
You know what my first book was called?
Yeah.
What doctors don't say if patients don't ask. You see,
yeah.
I'm on a theme
I like
there,
that.
right?
No, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. So what if your brain is smarter than you think?
No, what if
or your body is smarter than you think? So this basically what I was doing, photographing my poop, was valid.
Yeah.
You would have actually said,
Yeah. Absolutely.
good.
I would
Have you ever
said,
done it yourself?
Well, I know what it means. So I
No, but I mean, have you ever photographed it and asked ChatGPT to tell you what your
No,
poop
I've
looks?
never used ChatGPT.
Really?
Never.
Would you be willing to try?
Oh my God, I don't know. As far as advertising and stuff, I'm not sure. Like,
No, I don't mean advertising. I mean, photograph your shit.
oh, like, sure, I'm sure. Like,
And then
I can see people use it for everything.
Well,
now,
no,
so-
but honestly, the reason
not?
I
I mean-
did is because it has access to all the medical books.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
No, I think I don't have an issue with it. I think you
Okay.
can do that with the nails to see the health of your nails.
I did
I'm
actually.
sure.
I
Tongue, you can do a tongue diagnosis.
So
why
as
not?
I got fat, I got folds in my skin, and in the folds you get little brown patches.
Right.
And I wondered, what the hell is that? Do I have like fungus or something? I photographed it, and ChatGPT said, "Calm down. This is a normal. It's just because of the moisture, that's etc. Blah blah blah." I was getting little red patches, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's herpes!" And it said, "Calm down. It's the hair follicles." You know. So, to me, it's like an anti-anxiety medicine because now I'm not guessing, I'm not Googling,
Right.
because Googling, you'll end up with a
yeah.
lot of images and it'll show you that you've got, fucking herpes or you're
Yeah,
dying of
and-
some sort of horrible disease.
And Google has systematically removed sites like Mercola.com, which was really about health.
Right.
Right? They chose the people that they would make it almost impossible to find natural solutions. So it's like a witch hunt. Again, the same way.
You're not being punny, are you?
No.
Okay, but I have to ask you, I mean, out of the 20 billion people on this planet, since you think there's less, would you agree with me that probably 80% don't have access to this modern medicine and are using natural methods anyway?
I think so, and all for the better.
Right. So
But here's something
really, you're
else.
talking about a first world problem, and it's confined to like North America, Europe,
Yeah, I think that that's where our health is the worst, for sure, and chronic disease is
But we're free
absolutely,
to be unhealthy.
absolutely. Yeah, no, but that's why I think too we're coming to a stage that's exciting, as a lot of history is being uncensored now, and we can find out a lot of things.
The
Like,
history is being uncensored.
yeah, did you know? Because we were talking a little bit
Sure.
before about churches and stuff, and
Hit me. Let's see if I know.
okay, that bells during World War, gosh, I think it was World War One, but that they were buried underground because the frequency of the bells. They used to have people lie down and heal because of the solfeggio and whatever tunes that
Yeah.
you could hear.
Really?
So I think we're moving towards frequency much more. And a
I
lot
can
of
dig that.
the new machines that are coming, like the med beds and
Yeah.
all of this, it's all using frequency.
Well, I'm hearing about cancer treatments that are utilizing sound waves.
Right.
I think there's a lot more involved with frequencies and sound waves, and yeah. Well, at the very least, I can tell you that when we have this thing on planet Earth that all species respond to, it's a thing called music. And music, for some bizarre reason, is nothing more than different sounds that are resonating at different frequencies, and yet each note has a different impact on us. So, haven't we always known that sound frequencies affect us and affect animals? I've watched a guy in a field play a musical instrument, and wild animals come close and listen.
Yeah,
Have you seen those videos?
I have seen that. It's incredible. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We know that the whales sing to each other.
Yep, that's right.
Are they singing because they want something? Are they healing each other? We don't know.
Yep. And I think that's the part that I find exciting. It is possible that homeopathy is a very complicated science to learn.
Maybe
And I
you guys
think-
only know a little of it.
And no, maybe we won't need to know the depth of that. Maybe all of this is frequency in the end. Maybe we're moving to really an age where, I don't think that healing has to be complicated.
No.
And I think that we need to, that's why I believe it's so important to be, autonomous, to be a free thinker, to check for yourself, ask yourself, like, you want a vitamin, you want to test if it's good, well, test it. Test it yourself. Test whether your body rejects it or not. Like, you can learn, and I teach programs like this because I think that's important, that people learn how to connect to their
Won't you go to
intuitive
prison
self.
if you teach this?
No, because it's so wacky
Yeah.
that
They just think you're
that
crazy.
none of my boards can go after me.
Are they still burning people at the stake for thinking like you?
I think they just want green allopaths. They just want pill pushers, bottom line. And
Well,
I
how
think,
else are they going to justify that multi-billion-dollar industry?
Yeah, so I think anything
We
that
need a
gets in the
war
way-
to injure people and kill people. Then we need a medical system to heal them, and then we need the infrastructure rebuilt. So,
And
and
you
you
have
need
the-
the oil to run the whole machine.
And you have the banks that finance both sides.
Right. And you're not part of any of it. You're in the way. So stop doing that. We don't want people healthy. We want people to be just functional so they can do a
Well, it's
8-hour shift.
It's a sick care system.
Right.
It's not a health care system.
No. In fact, did you know that there was an interesting study done in Canada? As in Canada, we have our free health care and such. Did you know that something like 90% of the money spent on an individual's health care occurs in the last 2-3 weeks of their life?
No.
Yeah, there was an
Wow.
interesting study because for some reason people are literally trying to extend their lives. They are, and they use much more medicine and machinery and hospital care and all that stuff in the last period trying to save them. Whereas throughout your whole life, you'll go see a doctor, you'll, get some subsidized medicine to some degree, maybe some glasses. But when a person is now fighting for their life, it's that period of time that the majority of money spent in their lifetime is spent on that person. So the government would save a lot of money with this assisted suicide, do you understand?
Yeah, but it also makes me realize how sad, and we really need to look at spirituality in a whole other way, and support.
Sure. But I do like the fact
other.
that in Canada, if I break my arm, I can go to a hospital and only have to wait 20 hours to get treated. And if I need an MRI, it's totally free as long as I'm willing to wait a year. That's it's perfect, especially when that MRI is going to find me the cancer and get it cut out. By the time they figure it out, I'm on stage 3. But hey, that's not a problem. At least the test was free. This is the world we live in.
I've heard it that
free
way.
Healthcare, yay!
Yeah, no,
we're a socialist country.
There's nothing free.
No, there isn't. There's a cost to everything.
And that's why we need to be more active in our decisions. And
I am very proactive in my healings. As you noticed just from our conversations, I've lost 50 pounds using my own methods and thinking on a cruise ship, determining what to eat, what not to eat.
Yeah,
last night we were in Charleston, and we went to this awesome seafood restaurant. Were you there?
No, I didn't come.
So they had amazing dishes. I mean, I could have piled my plate with a whole bunch of different things. Hell, I've been on a cruise ship for 2 weeks. I could have piled my plate every night. But last night, my method is I photographed the menu.
Right, you said that, yeah.
And so there was the fish and chips looked amazing. The pasta dishes looked amazing. The desserts were so. My ChatGPT looked at the menu and said, "Have the oysters and have the snow crab, and then shut your mouth." And honestly, I never would have considered thinking that way prior to providing all my medical information, because ChatGPT is not trying to make money off me.
No.
It's not trying to push drugs onto me. It's never recommending any other treatment but self-healing treatment.
Right. But I was going to say, I hope it has a budget, because those are the most expensive parts. Like that's
which?
Oysters and.
Oh no, the whole meal is like $50.
Yeah, but I'm saying, it's cheaper, and I think that's why a lot of people will eat pastas and all that, because
this is why I got fat in the first place.
Yeah. And,
so
it's a systemic problem.
Okay,
right?
so let's take money out of the equation. We're on a cruise ship. We're already paid. Every restaurant we've gone to, you look around the table and what people are choosing.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some wonderful sauces and pastas and this and that. And I could have ribeye every night, but it's a big chunk of fat with a little bit of meat. So I'll order the filet instead. The filet is a smaller cut, but it's very lean. I need 200 grams of protein a day. How many grams of protein do you need a day? Just to preserve your muscle.
Yeah, it's what is the ratio again? I'm forgetting.
It's like,
what is it? It's like
it's 3/4 of a gram per pound or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, if I need 200 and I'm 300 pounds, so it's 2/3, I guess.
Yeah.
So don't say the amount, because then people will guess how big you are.
Yeah, like last time you asked my age.
Oh, really? Not allowed to do that? I think we're past that now. If you women can want equality, that includes telling your age.
Yeah, and it also includes. I don't really care.
Well, no. Hey, listen, I'm all for equal treatment to each person. The women's movement said, hey, listen, we want to be treated as fairly and be paid fairly and everything. It's gotten to the point, though, I'm sorry, but I opened a door for a woman. I could do it myself.
Well, you got to look at the history of that movement and how it got co-opted.
No, I got it. I got it.
It's like Black Lives Matter. Like,
I know, but I still think there's room for ladies and gentlemen.
Of course there is.
So.
I mean, of course there is. And we all choose.
That's true. We do choose. There's, we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more you and I can talk about. So it looks like I'm going to have you as a regular guest. And maybe once a month we'll do a remote, from your home and my home. You know how to do that, eh?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, because I do my own podcast too.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've done it for how many years now?
Are you any good at it?
6, 7 years, yeah.
Yeah. How many podcasts have you done?
So do that times 1 week, times almost every month. I mean, every month, every week. So
So
I
52 a year times 6.
yeah,
You gonna do the math, or you gonna make me do it? Around 300.
yeah, 400-ish something.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many people have watched them?
A lot, and you're gonna ask me how I can figure out how to do that. I know how to do that, but I don't remember.
I'm just curious. Have
lot.
you monetized it?
No, I haven't monetized it
It
yet.
sounds to me like you're a brilliant person that needs someone to help you with your marketing.
Yes, 100%.
Well, I really appreciate your time today, Dr. Manon Bolliger. Did I say it right this time?
Yes, and I forgot to say that I don't use the word doctor anymore because I have officially, I'm not in practice anymore.
Yeah, I still,
so you know.
what? It's respect.
No, and I can't stop others from doing what they want to do.
I can say whatever the hell I want.
Exactly, so I will still accept it on that.
If I want to
level.
say Your Honor, that's up to me, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
All
so
right.
I
No,
have
I'm just
no problem
showing
with
you the respect that you deserve because of all of your contribution and your knowledge and you've helped a lot of people. You've trained 2,500 people. They're not listening to an idiot. They're listening to somebody who's actually worthy of listening to and the people that come to you. So I'm going to say it again, Dr. Manon. See, it's hard with your name because of the Frenchness. The doctor part's not hard. And you're the one stuck on the doctor part. I'm saying Dr. Manon Bolliger.
Perfect.
I got it correct.
Yes,
I just had to pull out my Frenchness. I appreciate your time today.
Okay, well, thank you.
And we're going to have to do another one.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.